Hey folks, welcome back to the Frontier Western Heritage Channel. I'm Todd Kessner here in Bozeman, Montana, and we're back out at the gun range. If you had watched the loading the double-aught buckshot paper cartridge with black powder video, we're going to test these rounds today. And just as a refresher, this is a paper cartridge that we put 3 drams of double F GoX black powder in, and a dram is about 27 1/3 grains. And so we got about 82 grains of black powder in here. We did 9 pellets of double-aught buck and then put the overshot wad on and gave it a good solid crimp. So we're going to give this a try just for fun. I'm interested in seeing, since of all the lore of riding shotgun on stagecoaches, and the historical term was the shotgun messenger. That was the position next to the driver. Of all the lore from the Old West and the movies, wanted to see what double-aught buck was going to do if we tested it here at 20 and then at 40 yards. And I've got a couple of shotguns I want to test. This one is a import from Cimarron, and it is a coach gun that you'd see at most cowboy action shoots. A lot of guys use these. That's a copy of the 1878 Colt shotgun, and it's got open choke, so there's no choke. It's a true cylinder on these barrels, and so we'll see what this short 20-inch barrel does with double-aught buck on the cardboard gang we got out here just a little bit down the range. And so it's kind of a fun test. I really wanted to do it from an elevated position, as if I was sitting up on the driver's seat, and I'll throw some pictures up on the screen. I've had that opportunity before to actually carry an 1878 Colt antique on a stagecoach in Virginia City, Montana, just for pictures and just for fun. But that driver got those horses going, and that was a very rough ride. And I'll tell you, when you're sitting on a vinyl seat, it'd probably be the same with a smooth plank seat. All you can do to hang on and not drop the shotgun when that stagecoach is really rolling, and this gal that was the driver really got it rolling, and so you're on that slippery seat sliding back and forth. Shotgun obviously would be the gun of choice if you were actually the shotgun messenger, because hitting anything with a rifle, anything that really took that kind of concentration in a sight picture, would not be very, very easy. So this is going to be kind of fun. I wanted to do it from that elevated position. We're out here at a public range. I was just afraid if I stacked up a couple of tables and then stood on top of them, it might be an invitation to be excused from the range. So we're going to do it from ground level. We're going to see what how this cardboard gang handles the double-aught buck at 20 and then at 40 yards with the coach gun. And then I've got a long-barreled Stevens side-by-side as well, and that's got a choke in it, and we'll give that a try. So let's get started with this at the 20 yards with the coach gun, and we'll see what we get. All right, here goes double-aught buck at 20 yards. Let's go see how Cardboard Cal held up here. This left barrel did a job on Cardboard Cal here. That's about the point of aim. And we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, all 9 pellets into this target. And aiming for the chest, it actually went a little bit high. So obviously double-aught buck on a stagecoach at 20 yards would be a pretty devastating charge to throw at somebody. Let's take a look at our second target. This one was high, but I've got, I got 7 of the shots that either just nicked him or were on the target, and a little devastating to the head area on this one. So we'll see what happens. I'm going to X these out. We'll back this thing up to 40 yards and see what our 20-inch barrel does with no choke at 40 yards, and we'll give this thing another try. So we got our cardboard gang. It's a long ways out there. And I got to admit, I hadn't shot these rounds yet, practiced them. I was just kind of, when I do these experiments, a lot of times I just kind of bring you with me. And it was, yeah, I was a little gun shy. I didn't know what it was going to be like throwing a buckshot load with that level of black powder in there. Really wasn't that bad, but I had a little anxiety going there. So we're gonna try this again. I'm gonna stand a little bit better. I know what it feels like to get hit with this recoil. It really isn't that bad, and let's see what we can do out there at 40 yards. Go see how Cardboard Cal and the gang held up with that one. Okay, well, we've definitely opened up our group. There's no doubt about it. So I've got a shot here, and this member of the gang isn't happy right now, that's for sure. But not exactly a concentrated hit. And we've got one down here off to the side, and really those three looks like all we got for hits. So obviously that 20-inch barrel with an open choke, no choke, in other words, is really opening up. We got a couple of narrow misses, and we've really opened it up at that distance. And so if I were the shotgun messenger and had tested my pattern that shotgun, I would know I got to let these guys get a little closer before I unleash on them, because you can see the difference. We went from pretty concentrated pattern to a lot of misses that had a lot of Russian wind going past him, but didn't feel them all. So let's take a look over here. Right barrel, kind of the same thing. We got lucky and we got a shot right in the middle, one on the arm, one down just above the elbow, and we got some misses here. So obviously that distance made a big difference on a 20-inch barrel with 9 pellets with no choke. So let's back them back up to 20 yards again. We will try the other shotgun, the long barrel shotgun, and let's take a look at that test. All right, well, here is the old Stevens model 311, an internal hammered shotgun made well after 1900, so it obviously take nitro rounds, no problem. And long barrel, kind of the typical double barrel you'd have if you were in the Old West, growing up and living in that period. A lot of these shotguns were really the primary firearm for the household, and so you would more than likely have a shotgun, particularly in the East, more than you would maybe even a rifle. And the reason for that is you could put buckshot through them, you could put birdshot through them, you could shoot turkeys, squirrels, everything. And they were for putting food on the table. And really the short barreled, the sawed off shotguns were not all that common, sometimes in prisons. And then of course the legend would be that on stagecoaches as well. But most folks had long barreled shotguns. So this one's a 30-inch barrel, and this old Stevens. And we're going to see here, I think we've got a modified and full. So I've got the gun broke open. I've got a full choke on my left barrel and a modified on my right barrel. So we're going to see what this does. Now this is at 20 yards, and then we'll probably, I'm guessing anyway, see a difference out there at 40. Now, one thing about a shotgun with buckshot and a choke doesn't necessarily do you a whole lot of good. If you're a smooth bore musket shooter, you'd know that when that ball leaves the barrel, it goes the opposite direction of the last thing that it bounced off of. And so when that ball is coming out the barrel and hits this choke, it's not like a shot string that you'd have with fine shot and bird shot. These are 9 pellets of 33 caliber round ball. And so when these come out, they're rattling down the barrel, and sometimes they can hit that choke. And instead of it tightening the group, each pellet's going to go the opposite direction. Each ball is going to go the opposite direction for where it hit last. So a choke gun is not necessarily going to give you a tighter group on buckshot. But we're going to test it and find out, and let's see what it does. And maybe I'm wrong. Maybe at 40 yards we'll see a big difference. But let's take a look. All right, let's load her up. I got the aim cam on. Let's give you a bird's eye view here, or down the barrel view. Get this baby closed up. There we go. And we'll go right barrel. This one is the modified. So I had to think for a second. This one's the modified. And a full choke. Let's go take a look. Well, the gang is getting pretty shot up. This is getting a little bad for them, but we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. We got our shots all on the target. So again, at 20 yards, actually a little bit bigger group than the open cylinder choke. So we're doing a number on the cardboard gang. But I wouldn't say that long barrel and that choke gave me much of an advantage at 20 yards anyway. So let's take a look over here at the, oops, let me get this one checked off too. Let's take a look over here at the right barrel. All right, we're actually seeing a lot better group. This is that modified, so we're not choking it as much. And seeing a pretty good group there. Now, of course, this is one day, one test, and there's, you know, you'd have to do this a couple of times to really get establish yourself a pattern. But from what we're seeing right now, that modified choke is doing a lot better job than the full choke. And again, I think it's because of how the balls rattle down the barrel and then bounce off to the side, depending on what they hit, which side they hit when they come out of that choked barrel. So let's move these guys back to 40 one more time. Let's try this Stevens with the modified and full choke and see what that does at 40 yards. All right, well, we moved our targets back out to 40 yards. Let's see what this Stevens 311 will do. As a reminder, we got a modified choke on the right-hand barrel, and we got a full choke on the left-hand barrel. And the cardboard gang is getting pretty shot up, so we kind of covered them up a little bit here so we can have a more dramatic look at what happens and not get confused by all the X's on there. So let's take a shot at these guys and see what the full and modified choke does with double-aught buck at 40 yards. All right, let's go down and take a look at it. All right, well, here is the left-hand barrel. This would be our full choke barrel. And we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of the 9 pellets. 1, 2, 3, yeah, 6 of the 9 pellets on this piece of paper. So we would have had a pretty good hit here, here, and here. So we did better than the open choke. This full choke didn't completely throw the buckshot all over the place. It actually did kind of keep it a little bit better. That longer barrel with the full choke, they're certainly spread out. There's no doubt about that. But we've got more on target really than we did with the coach gun at 40 yards. So I guess it's kind of a toss-up. It's not doing that much better. Certainly didn't concentrate them a whole lot better than the coach gun did at 40 yards with a 20-inch barrel. So here we got cardboard Cal and they're I don't know what we call it. They're hiding behind the bushes or something. But I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is a modified choke out of that Stevens at 40 yards, that 30-inch barrel. Got 5 that are a little more concentrated, obviously, than we had with the full choke. Got them going wild, obviously, as well. So got 3 of them kind of right where it would hurt. Another one a little lower in the abdomen, and 1 off to the side. But honestly, I'm not seeing a huge difference between that longer barrel and that 20-inch coach gun. A little bit, maybe. It make you feel a little bit better. You could reach out a little bit farther, especially with just that modified choke, and concentrate them a little bit better. They're not quite as off center as they were with the 20-inch barrel. It would take a lot more tests to really get a solid pattern, and obviously 2 shotgun rounds aren't going to shoot at exactly the same place, not like trying to sight in a rifle, obviously. So you'd get kind of an idea after many more shots. But it's kind of fun to see and to really test out. You know, we've seen a lot on the movies. I have, like I said, been in the shotgun messenger position with a 78 Colt shotgun, never got to fire it. We had real horses on a stagecoach, and it was a lot of fun, and it was all you could do to stay on the seat and not fall off or drop the shotgun. So it would be a difficult position to be in if you were the guy and the stagecoach was moving and you were the guy responsible for protecting that coach. But if you could get a bead on somebody, even with a 20-inch barrel or a 30-inch barrel, you're going to do some damage, and as we saw today, the closer you are, the better it is for the folks on the stagecoach. So appreciate it. Thanks for coming. We haven't been able to do a video in a while. It's April here in Montana, and April is a month of promise. It's a promise that someday maybe summer will get here, and then it's a month of broken promises. And last week it was below zero. We had a spring blizzard that set records, and so we're trying to catch some range time here in between really bad weather. Got a lucky night. I wouldn't say it's hot by any means, but we got a lucky night evening today to be able to do this, and we've got a lot of plans for later this spring. So we'll be back out at the range testing some more Old West firearms, and we hope that you come with us. If you like the video, please hit that thumbs up button, subscribe, advertise to your friends, and we will see you next time back here on the Frontier Western Heritage Channel. Thanks for coming. Well, folks, welcome back to the Frontier Western Heritage Channel. I'm Todd Kessner here in Bozeman, Montana. We're back outside of Bozeman on the gun range here in Gallatin County. And shoot, I'm going to start over on the way out of Gallatin County. Get a shell out. Well, hi, folks. Welcome back to the Frontier Western Heritage Channel. And it's been a long time since I've done this. Then the coach gun did it at 40 yards with a 20-inch barrel, but that's it. So let's go to the other one.